Well, my name is Colette Cooney. I am an former TV reporter. I worked for BBC Breakfast News, BBC London, Meridian, where I did a lot of reporting, which I was a student here. That's where I learned. I've gone full circle, and I'm now back here teaching broadcast journalism. Well, the first thing I would say is you have to get to know how to use the technology. You have to understand how it works, how pictures work. That's really important. Obviously, that's what the whole thing is. It's about how you tell your story with pictures. So you need to know the basics. After that, I would say the most important thing is, if you want to really get on and get noticed, is to have ideas that work with pictures. You can have a brilliant idea, but no point if you can't get the pictures for it. So you need to think out your ideas and how you can visually tell that story. Right, well, the first thing I'd say is you have to get out of this idea that there are print journalists, video journalists, radio journalists. We are all crossing over now. We're all using the web, which is a convergence really of all these disciplines. So I think you have to open your mind to doing things a bit differently. You have to start thinking about your words. It's very difficult if you've been taught all through your career that you write to a certain formula. When you do broadcasting, it's a little bit different. So I think you've got to be able to start thinking in a more flexible way. There are a lot of new outputs at the moment. Al Jazeera is quite rightly very popular. Everybody is very interested in Al Jazeera and their way of doing things, but I think BBC also has always been at the cutting edge, and I think it still is. I think they are keeping abreast of everything, and I think whereas we're getting a lot more, we can tune into the news from China. Just recently you can go to Japanese television and watch firsthand what they're filming. We've got Russia Today. We've got all these different outputs, but I think, yes, BBC is still really keeping up with the cutting edge, as is ITV. I think they all are. I don't think anybody's behind. I think they're all doing well. When I was a student here, what was 13 years ago now, Bloomberg were seen as the really cutting edge of everything. They were using technology alongside film, but they are financial, so they are niche. So I think, yes, of course, if you're interested in financial journalism, Bloomberg is a great place to go. Stay alive. Nothing is worth your life. That would be my first piece of advice, that you would be very foolish to push it beyond a point that is not safe, because you could die, and it's as simple as that. I think you should be really sensible. I think you need to find out what the official advice is about filming in these places. I think a lot of journalists at BBC will have been trained for hostile territories, whether that be an earthquake or a war zone. I think you have to be very sensible. I think you should get training about how to be in these areas and how to deal with them. And I think you should never be too gung-ho that you just think you're going to go off there and get the best stuff and risk your life, because I think that also could bring many other problems. I think you've also got to be respectful about being in these areas and where you can film. But at the same time, of course, you need to be a person who doesn't mind taking sensible risks. Well, obviously, if I could answer that, I would be an amazing person. I can't answer what the future will be, but what I think, what I can see happening at the moment is that we are all, as I said earlier, converging. You no longer can think of yourself in these little separate territories of print, radio, what you call video. I always call it film, but we have to now see that we have to be flexible, and that it's all crossing over and it's changing, and we're looking at new formats. Possibly when you do a report for the web, it may be a slightly different format. Do people want it faster, quicker? Do they want more quicker, faster information? I think really you have to look at how people are doing it, what way it's working. Is the language changing even? Is it becoming more conversational? What kind of vernacular is acceptable? I think it's like all these little boundaries are being broken now, and somewhere it's all going to settle. Well, I suppose it will always keep changing as well, but at the moment we're looking at a lot of crossing over. Possibilities are endless. I think even with YouTube, it's amazing. When I was a student here, there was no platform for you to go out and make your own little film and do anything exciting on YouTube. Now there is. Okay, I know you don't get paid for it possibly, but everybody's got a platform now, and I think that's fantastic.
And it's better for accountability and sort of democratising and
I'm not sure about that. It depends. You have to go, you know, what is freedom in one sense but offensive in another. I'm not sure where all that goes, because it's unregulated, and again I think that's something that we're looking very strongly at now, is how regulated should all of this be, where does freedom stop. Again, it's something I think that's constantly up for debate.
Thank you very, very much.